Did you know that over 75% of people fear public speaking more than death? That's right. Standing up in front of an audience ranks higher on the anxiety scale than facing a life-threatening situation. But here's a shocker. Most people don't realize that great speeches aren't just about charisma. They're built on solid, effective writing. Imagine transforming your fear into excitement and your shaky nerves into confidence. Sounds incredible, right? You don't need to be a born speaker to captivate an audience. With the right strategies, anyone can become a great speechwriter and speaker. In this video, we'll reveal 6 pro tips to supercharge your speechwriting. You'll learn how to brainstorm effectively using mind maps, craft unforgettable openings that grab attention, and write speeches faster with smart time hack techniques. Plus, we'll dive into the art of storytelling and show you how to polish your speech like a pro. Ready to transform your speechwriting skills? Let's unlock these secrets and turn you into a speechwriting superstar. Chapter 1. Mind Mapping Magic, Unlocking Your Speech Blueprint. Let's dive into the first pro tip, mind mapping. It's a game changer for anyone looking to write a speech efficiently. Mind mapping isn't just about jotting down ideas. It's about visually organizing your thoughts in a way that makes sense. Imagine your mind as a web, with each idea branching out into smaller, connected thoughts. That's mind mapping in a nutshell. A fascinating fact. Research shows that mind mapping can boost creativity by up to 15%. That's huge when you're trying to brainstorm unique angles for your speech. Tony Buzan, the inventor of mind mapping, said, "Your brain loves color, images, and imagination. So don't just stick to words. Use images and colors to highlight key points. Start by placing your main idea in the center of the page. From there, branch out with subtopics, each leading to supporting details. This method not only helps you see the big picture, but also ensures that no key points are overlooked. Plus, it's a lot easier than staring at a blank screen, wondering where to begin. Mind mapping also helps in organizing your speech's flow. You can see how one idea connects to the next, making transitions smoother and more natural. This technique is especially helpful for visual learners who need to see connections to fully understand them. One study found that students who used mind maps were able to recall 10% more information than those who used traditional note-taking methods. That's a significant edge when you're trying to remember all the points you want to make in your speech. So before you start writing, give mind mapping a try. It's a simple yet powerful way to unlock the full potential of your speech. Chapter 2. The Power of the Hook. Crafting Unforgettable Openers. The opening of your speech is your first impression, and you only get one shot at it. That's why crafting a powerful hook is crucial. You want to grab your audience's attention right from the start and make them eager to hear more. Did you know that the average attention span of an adult is just 8 seconds? That's shorter than a goldfish's. This means you need to hook your audience fast. A great way to do this is by using a startling statistic. For example, did you know that 75% of people fear public speaking more than death? That's a fact that's hard to ignore. Another effective method is to ask a thought-provoking question. Something like, what if I told you that in the next 10 minutes, you could learn a skill that will change your life forever? This type of question not only grabs attention, but also piques curiosity, making your audience want to stick around for the answer. Storytelling is another powerful tool for crafting a memorable opener. People love stories. They're hardwired to pay attention to them. Start with a short, personal story that relates to your topic. It makes your speech relatable and sets the stage for your message. A unique quote can also serve as a great hook. Albert Einstein once said, "If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough." This quote not only captures attention, but also sets the expectation that your speech will be clear and to the point. The key is to keep your hook concise and relevant to your main topic. Don't overcomplicate it. Simplicity often works best. Chapter 3. Time Hack Techniques. Writing speeches faster and smarter. Time is of the essence, especially when you're juggling multiple tasks. That's why the third pro tip is all about writing your speech faster without sacrificing quality. Let's face it, procrastination is a common enemy for many of us. But with the right strategies, you can write a great speech in less time than you think. First, set a timer. This might sound simple, but it's incredibly effective. The Pomodoro technique, where you work for 25 minutes and then take a 5-minute break, can help you stay focused and productive. Studies show that this method can increase productivity by up to 40%. Another time hack technique is to break your speech into smaller sections. Instead of trying to write the whole thing at once, tackle it one part at a time. Start with the introduction, then move on to the body, and finally, the conclusion. This makes the task less overwhelming and easier to manage. Outlining is also a big time saver. Before you start writing, create a detailed outline of your speech. This gives you a clear roadmap to follow and prevents you from going off on tangents. Think of it as your speech's skeleton, with each point building upon the last. One often overlooked strategy is to write your conclusion first. When you know where you're headed, it's easier to write the rest of your speech. Plus, it ensures that your speech stays on track and focused on your main message. Using speech-to-text software can also save you a ton of time. Just speak your ideas out loud and let the software do the typing for you. This is especially useful when you're on the go and can't sit down to write. Remember, the goal is to write smarter, not harder. By implementing these time hack techniques, you'll be able to write a compelling speech in less time, leaving you more time to rehearse and perfect your delivery. Before we move on to the next chapter, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on more tips like these. Chapter 4. Storytelling Secrets, Weaving Tales That Stick. Storytelling is a superpower in public speaking. It's one of the most effective ways to connect with your audience on a deeper level. People are hardwired to listen to stories. They trigger emotional responses and make your message memorable. As psychologist Jerome Bruner once said, people are 22 times more likely to remember a fact when it's been wrapped in a story. Let's start with a basic strategy. Keep it simple. You don't need a complex plot to make a story impactful. In fact, the best stories often revolve around everyday experiences that your audience can relate to. Think about a time when you faced a challenge or learned a valuable lesson. Use that as the foundation for your story. Here's a tip. Use the hero's journey framework. This classic storytelling structure, popularized by Joseph Campbell, involves a hero who faces challenges, overcomes them, and returns transformed. It's a powerful way to structure your speech and keep your audience engaged from start to finish. Adding vivid details is another key to great storytelling. Don't just say you were nervous. Describe the sweaty palms, the pounding heart, the knot in your stomach. These details paint a picture in the audience's mind and make your story come alive. It's also important to keep your stories short and to the point. Attention spans are short, and you don't want to lose your audience by dragging out a story. Aim to deliver your story in under 2 minutes, focusing on the most impactful moments. Using dialogue can make your stories even more engaging. Instead of saying, "I was upset," you could say, "I told myself you can't give up now." Dialogue adds a sense of immediacy and makes your story feel more real. Don't forget to connect your story back to your main message. The best stories reinforce the point you're trying to make in your speech. After sharing your story, explicitly link it to your topic to ensure the audience understands its relevance. Chapter 5. Editing like a pro, trimming the fat for clarity. Now that you've got your speech written, it's time to edit. Editing is where the magic happens. It's where you take your raw ideas and polish them into something sharp and impactful. As Mark Twain famously said, the difference between the right word and the almost right word is the difference between lightning and a lightning bug. Start by cutting out any fluff. Fluff includes unnecessary words, repetitive ideas, and off-topic tangents. Your goal is to make every word count. If a sentence doesn't add value to your message, it's gotta go. Studies show that concise messages are more persuasive because they're easier for the brain to process. Next, focus on clarity. Clarity means making sure your audience can easily understand your points. Avoid jargon or overly complex language. Remember, your goal is to communicate, not to impress. If you can say something in a simpler way, do it. One effective strategy is to read your speech out loud. When you hear your words, it's easier to spot awkward phrasing or sentences that don't flow well. Plus, you can catch any points where your message might be unclear. If a sentence trips you up, chances are it will trip up your audience too. Another editing tip is to use active voice. Active voice makes your sentences stronger and more direct. For example, instead of saying, "The decision was made by the team," say, "The team made the decision." Active voice keeps your speech dynamic and engaging. Don't forget to check the length of your speech. On average, people speak about 125 to 150 words per minute. So, if you have 1,000 words, your speech will be about 7 to 8 minutes long. Make sure your speech fits the time you have available. Finally, get feedback from someone you trust. A fresh pair of eyes can catch things you might have missed. They can tell you if any parts are confusing, too long, or need more work. Chapter 6. The Practice Paradox. Rehearsing for natural delivery. The last step is practice, but not just any kind of practice. We're talking about natural rehearsal, a method that helps you deliver your speech confidently without sounding rehearsed. It's a paradox, but it works. As Dale Carnegie, the famous public speaking coach, said, There are always 3 speeches for everyone you actually gave: the one you practiced, the one you gave, and the one you wish you gave. Start by practicing in front of a mirror. This helps you become aware of your body language and facial expressions. Research shows that nonverbal communication accounts for up to 55% of the message you're conveying. So it's important to practice how you look, not just what you say. Next, record yourself. This might feel awkward, but it's incredibly useful. When you watch the recording, pay attention to your tone, pace, and volume. Are you speaking too fast? Are there awkward pauses? Adjust your delivery based on what you see and hear. Another strategy is to practice in different environments. If you only rehearse in one spot, like your bedroom, it can be jarring to deliver the speech in a new setting. Try practicing in different rooms or even outside. This helps you stay adaptable and confident no matter where you speak. It's also important to practice without notes. This forces you to internalize your speech rather than just memorizing it. The more you practice without relying on your notes, the more natural your delivery will become. Plus, it frees you up to make eye contact with your audience, which is crucial for building a connection. Visualization is another powerful tool. Before you go to bed, close your eyes and visualize yourself delivering your speech perfectly. Imagine the audience reacting positively and everything going smoothly. This mental practice can boost your confidence and reduce anxiety. Finally, get feedback during your practice sessions. Invite a friend or family member to listen to your speech and give you constructive criticism. Sometimes they'll catch things you didn't notice, like a distracting habit or a point that isn't clear. Remember, practice doesn't make perfect, it makes permanent. The more you rehearse, the more your speech will feel like second nature. And there you have it, 6 pro tips for speechwriting efficiency. If you found these tips helpful, make sure to subscribe so you won't miss more great content coming your way.